The Federal Reserve held interest rates steady on Wednesday, but the decision came with a notable split. The Fed voted 9-3 to keep the benchmark rate at 3.5 to 3.75%, where it has been since January. Three regional presidents, Beth Hammack of Cleveland, Neil Kashkari of Minneapolis, and Lori Logan of Dallas, dissented, each voting for a quarter-point increase. The divide highlights the tricky position facing the central bank and its new chairman, Kevin Warsh, who was presiding over just his second meeting since taking over from Jerome Powell in May. Powell remains on the board as a governor. Warsh has staked his reputation on bringing inflation down, saying officials have quote, no tolerance unquote, for elevated price pressures and that the recent cooling in the consumer price index does not amount to mission accomplished. The June CPI showed overall prices up 3.5% from a year earlier, down from 4.2% in May but still well above the Fed's 2% target. Complicating the picture are fresh supply shocks. Oil prices have been volatile as the Iran war hangs in a delicate limbo. A deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz remains distant. President Trump said the U.S. would launch another round of attacks against Iran, promising to hit them very hard. At the same time, the administration is adding new tariffs, and immigration restrictions are still rippling through the labor market. Demand is also surging for products tied to the artificial intelligence boom, semiconductors, chips, servers, and for skilled trades like electricians and carpenters, with supply yet to catch up. The debate inside the Fed centers on how quickly inflation will ease as these temporary factors fade, and whether rate hikes will ultimately be needed to return to target. At his press conference, Warsh was pressed on how holding steady squares with his price stability pledge. He opened by saying that where necessary and appropriate, the Fed will act, but the sentence was left unfinished as the article breaks off. That's the latest from the Federal Reserve. Thanks for listening.